Welcome to STARCARD Podcast. Here at STARCARD Podcast, we get a glimpse at the age of Aquarius ahead of us. We also examine the worlds of education and workplace ethics. My name is Breakaway Ray. I like talking about the breakaway civilizations and breaking away from the one we're in now. One way to do that is with the tarot deck. Tarot cards reveal spiritual wisdom in all the moments of our lives. I'm going to do a controlled time travel experiment. I'm going to project my consciousness into the future with the help of the tarot cards and bring the news back to you here at STARCARD Podcast. Now, let's go to the tarot cam. This is being recorded on June 3rd, 2025. This is a controlled time travel experiment. The question is, what will we be teaching in schools about the solar system in the years 2030 and then later on in the years 2070? Again, the question is, what will solar system education look like in the year 2030 and then later on in 2070? Here are the cards I drew for this question. More on that story in a moment. First, let's talk about the solar system. When we grew up and went to school, we learned about the solar system with a model that I call the Mercury A Model, meaning that the planet Mercury, being the closest to the Sun, is planet A. Planet Venus, which is the second planet closest to the Sun, is called planet B, and planet Earth, our home turf, is the third planet from the Sun, and it's called planet C. When you look at my list, you can see the number of days it takes for each planet to make one full tour around the Sun. Mercury only needs about 88 days to zip around the Sun. Earth's year is about 365 days. A Jovian year, a year for planet Jupiter, means Jupiter travels 4,332 days to get around the Sun in one full circle. Now, if you're familiar with pioneer hypnotist Dolores, or you're familiar with aviation pioneer John Lear, then you may be aware and suspect, as well as I do, that there are way more planets out there that we don't know about. For example, planet Vulcan was a planet discovered more than 100 years ago and was never included in our standard Mercury A model that we learned in school. Well, a mathematician and scientist named David Sereda made an appearance on Kerry Cassidy's Project Camelot program last year. Using math with a golden ratio, David Sereda was able to compute how many days each planet took to revolve around the Sun, and by doing so, he uncovered likely places where other planets ought to be. Happily, he was able to confirm the existence of two planets that were left off of our original information in the Mercury A model. For example, planet Vulcan. We knew about planet Vulcan more than 100 years ago. David Sereda did math to compute and verify that planet Vulcan is still there. It only takes 20 days to revolve around the Sun. Skip down to planet K, which is planet Ceres. Planet Ceres is famous because Tony Rodriguez spent time there in the secret space program. You can learn more about planet Ceres and Tony Rodriguez's story in Tony Rodriguez's book, Ceres Colony Cavalier. Planet Ceres is a German homeworld. There are people living there already. This can be said about almost all the planets in the solar system, according to Secret Space Program experiencers. And look at how many planets are on this list that don't have names. seems like there's some missing information. Or perhaps it's deleted information. We didn't get to learn about planet Vulcan. We didn't get to learn about planet Ceres. And recently, they dropped planet Pluto off of our list. So we're not supposed to learn about that anymore either. Well, guess what? Besides the missing planets, I might have a missing star or two to share. In the 1970s, a mainstream established encyclopedia presented an article in which our solar system was not just a star system with one star, but upwards of 3. Our solar system may be a trinary system. Our stars would orbit each other from such a distance that we wouldn't even notice. It's quite possible that we did notice and we did the math and it used to be part of our learning, but for whatever reason, those stars are not included in our mainstream learning anymore. One of those stars could be a brown dwarf, which is why we wouldn't see it just by looking up in the sky with our naked eye or even a regular telescope. And if there were other stars in our solar system, isn't it possible that they would have other planets too? Perhaps planet X or planet Nibiru orbits one of those other stars and does make its way over to our star and our solar system every 36,000 years. In any case, it sure looks like there's a lot of information missing.
Now, let's take a look at the cards that I drew. First, for the year 2030, we got the Knight of Wands, which indicates inspired action and adventure. We have the Six of Swords, which indicates a transition and leaving something behind. And it also indicates that we're being guided into calmer waters by an unseen hand. Moving on, the next group for 2030 includes the Queen of Swords, which indicates unbiased judgment, the Page of Swords, which indicates new ideas and new ways of thinking, and the Chariot, which indicates progress. Meanwhile, the cards we drew for the year 2070 start with the Three of Pentacles, which indicates teamwork, the Devil card, which indicates there may be something we have to let go. Then in the second group, we got the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles indicates productivity and hard work. Then the Ace of Pentacles, which indicates a new venture. And the Six of Wands for public recognition. So my take on the cards tells me that in the year 2030, we're going to have a new and inspired action and adventure to leave behind the old learning about the solar system and the then 9 and now 8 planets that we're allowed to talk about. In fact, there's going to be unbiased judgment and good science involved when we explore the other worlds in our solar system that for the last 100 years or so we've not been told about. The Page of Swords indicates these new ideas and new ways of thinking are coming at us quickly. When we say things are moving quickly and there's progress, there you are, we have the Chariot card. Jumping ahead to the year 2070, what does it look like when we start teaching about the solar system? The first card tells us, the Three of Pentacles, that there's teamwork involved, and there's cooperation involved, and there's something that we have to let go. So it sounds to me like there is a general consensus to let go of the old ways that we used to think about the solar system. It's pretty much going to be mandatory by the year 2070. We're going to have to let this version of education go. It's going to seem quite quaint, as a matter of fact, when we look back on how we learned about 8 planets. Next, in the second group, we have the Knight of Pentacles, which shows there's some hard work to do, but the Ace of Pentacles says it's a new venture, and the Six of Wands tells us that all the planets are going to be publicly recognized and part of the public's consciousness. So congratulations to us. We have disclosure by 2030 and 2070 about the other worlds in our solar system. What a fun reading. Well, I had a great time. Thank you for joining me. Now get out there and have a good day.